Nossa, quebrou minha mente. Mano, num segundo quase começo a chorar, cara. Não sabia mais o que fazer.
The greatest Valorant rivalry of all time continues, as the Optic core, now on NRG, took on Loud at VCT Lock In. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the awesome strats and counter strats FNS and Saadhak used against each other on their second map, Pearl. Their chess match culminated in this masterpiece of a final round, but we'll have to talk about how the rest of the game went for you to fully understand why it was so amazing. NRG start Pearl on offense with a 5-man B take. They immediately showcase their strong utility combos using Skydog and Raze Drone, combined with Harbor's Walls to take full control of site. Mollies prevent B-Link players from helping and are also used to flush out the back hall player. The round ends in a 4v4 post-plant situation with favorable positioning for NRG. Crashies and Artists have control of both Heaven and Hell for the post-plant. The round goes south for them when FNS takes contact from Loud pushing out of B-Link. Likely scared of the flank, FNS plays closer to B-Link. Ideally, Victor can get information on the flank timing from back hall, while FNS should have tucked default where bomb is planted. If Crashies and Artists take contact, they both have a good chance of winning the first fight, whereas FNS is playing the first angle they'll check. The fight setup works poorly as FNS dies instantly and Crashies and Artists awkwardly try to trade that kill. Regardless, NRG show a strong B site execute and run it again next round in a force buy. Again, they get the bomb down and it's a 5v5 post-plant situation. Loud have control of every entrance this time. The retake is easier for Loud, but the round is extremely close anyway. Had Crashies killed Tui's defusing, they would have won the round. Although Loud won 2 rounds in a row, they clearly feel the strength of NRG's B take. On the third round, NRG defaults some mid control into the mix to show that they aren't neglecting it completely. After the Skydog spots them, they regroup B again for another 5-man execute. Mid pressure was effective as it keeps 2 members holding links and 1 in A main, but Saadhak calls an insane play here. He jump spots from back hall so NRG sees he's there, and the Viper wall immediately comes up. But Saadhak crosses on the Viper wall to sign and immediately asks for the Viper wall to be taken down. Saadhak catches the whole team off guard. To NRG, it looked like Saadhak just teleported from back hall to the sign off angle within a couple seconds. Because of this one call, they win the entire fight B long and close the round. Absolutely insane call from Saadhak to show why he's a top IGL. In round 4, NRG play it slow and draw out an overpush from Aspas. FNS knows he's aggressive and it's also their bonus round, so he expects that Loud are going to make a greedy play to win the round. NRG punish the overextension and take B again, finally winning their first round. FNS has conditioned Loud by going B 4 rounds in a row. On round 5, they throw the same utility into B long to fake it, but go A. Loud on the other hand know NRG haven't really been pressuring mid too hard. Saadhak knows they can take advantage of mid, so they make a 4-man push with the intention of sneaking Aspas deep into the attacker's side with an op. The plan works and they catch a late rotator. NRG immediately know they have to take A now, since Crashies was obviously walking into A main when he got picked. They also suspect Aspas did not walk up mid all by himself, so Loud are likely toward mid. With 2 well-timed plays into defender spawn and A link, NRG actually have a chance, but they can't kill the KJ ult and it gives Loud enough site control to win the round.
CT and now FNS sweating bullets. 2 players to stand up against him.
After a timeout in round 6, NRG realize they need to show Loud they can really win a round through mid. NRG know it's unlikely that Aspas will make the exact same play 2 rounds in a row with the op. They 4-man push Art with a lurk in A main. Art is uncontested and NRG floods site for another post-plant situation. The key here is getting the trade on FNS and A main, which gave NRG a chance to win the round as they fought together well on site before Aspas could really help with the op. Now Loud know that NRG can win a round if mid is uncontested, and you'll come to see how much Loud really values mid on Pearl later. But this is exactly what NRG wanted. In round 7, NRG break Loud's ankles and 5-man rush B immediately, while Loud are set up to fight mid. With the gun advantage, NRG close out the round. Now in round 8, Loud attempt mid control again, probably not changing much since the last round was an eco round, but NRG 5-man rush B just like last round. They take site and Loud have to retake into a Viper ult and KJ ult when they have an op. NRG win round 8 with some boos from the crowd after this knife kill.
And he's gonna dice him up! Oh, in front of the home crowd!
The last 2 rounds were a direct result from the art play from the timeout, which NRG adapted to as a result of Loud's mid control, which won them round 5. In round 9, NRG take B again, as they trust their execute is strong and have a gun advantage to win the fights. This is a slightly risky round, but FNS knows the reward for winning goes beyond the round itself. He knows that winning the round will solidify the next set of strats for them. In the next round, NRG take control of B main again, but set up for a B split, with Artis and FNS going through mid doors. Because NRG punished Loud for stacking mid in prior rounds, it made them think that their B take is unstoppable. This means that Artis and FNS could take mid control uncontested. They crunch site from B link and NRG trade well enough to close out the round in a 2v1. Now round 11 begins with B long control again, but this time NRG are patient. FNS has a read that Loud will try to flank fast. He waits for Aspas while his team pressures up B long. This interaction shows why these teams are both world class. FNS purposely makes Crashies push up so far that his turret deactivates to bait the flanker. Aspas flanks, but sees a deactivated turret and has the IQ to realize it could be a bait, and he instantly clears FNS. Then immediately, NRG know that they have to make a play before they get pinched. They flood into B link, winning the fights with the gun advantage and running to A.
Surely he does not expect Victor. Lovely work.
This was a genius bait setup by FNS, but a superstar level play from Aspas. In the last round of the half, NRG contact up A main while FNS and Artis work mid. This is a great call as NRG have made Loud scared of B pushes, and they have shown them that they can convert off of mid control as well. Artis takes art control by himself and makes a lot of noise baiting for FNS holding the mid door reflank. It results in another nail-biting close round, which comes down to gunfights on site, and Loud win the retake using Viper's Pit.
Stopping Victor! Oh my word! He denies it! Goes back in!
Now going into the second half where Loud is on offense, they start pistol working B main control while they lurk Aspas into art. NRG get a pick onto Saadhak with this setup boosting over their own Viper wall. Aspas runs into the alarm bot in art, but with full control, Loud rotates back to A. Crashies takes this timing to walk into A main when the alarm bot spots Aspas. This play is what NRG needed to close out the round, as Crashies gets one and heavily damages 2 other Loud members.
Less down to 22, Aspas 18, and it's a huge...
Next round, Loud force up and hit an A split. NRG understand that A main control is key for them to hold an A push. They 3-man push it and thwart the split from Loud. Now Loud know that NRG will fight for A main hard, but have a clear weakness in their mid setup as they took art with no resistance in the last 2 rounds. Instead of going A with art control, which they tried 2 rounds in a row, they break KJ utility there and walk to B for a 5-man execute. This works as 3 NRG members are still looking for Loud while Loud 5-man execute B. NRG set up a decent fight and go 2 for 2, but NRG should have traded down better than that considering they were up against 5 sheriffs. Despite these good trades for Loud, NRG used KJ ult and Harbor utility to successfully retake and hold the defuse. In the next round, NRG make the same aggression A main while Loud continue to work mid control largely uncontested. Aspas takes Art again by himself, while Loud are putting pressure into mid doors as well. Loud find an opening in B link and posture to take B. But although it's a 3v5, Loud mess up this play as KJ and Jet are inactive, still making lurkish plays while the bomb is not yet planted. NRG rush to fight site with the remaining members, and since KJ and Jet are not doing anything, they pretty much fight a 3v3 on site when it should have been a 5v3, and they win the round anyway. Now this is looking pretty unfortunate for Loud. They adapted extremely well to NRG's A main aggression and punished them by taking control mid. They did this 3 rounds in a row and were in a great position to close out each round, but lost them all. The thing is, great IGLs like Saadhak can tell the difference between a bad strategy and poor execution. They work mid again while NRG continue to pressure too heavy on the A side and finally convert this kill onto FNS into a round win. Now Loud have established that NRG cannot neglect mid control. We see a very familiar call from Saadhak in the next round to rush B. You can see that as a result of the last round, NRG are now investing utility and members into mid, and NRG are now the ones not prepared for a full B rush. Loud get the plant down and have a lot of space to set up the post plant. Using KJ utility, Loud stall long enough to win the round.
That's one pop preemptively.
He's still fighting as hard as he can, but the time has evaded him. It doesn't matter less.
Knowing NRG is on a save in the next round, Loud take it slow B long. FNS calls for a push B long, but they aren't able to catch any Loud members early as they're calm and play their utility and gun advantage. Loud are slowly clawing back into this game and are starting to read NRG and FNS well. It starts to get really interesting in round 20, where Saadhak wants to return to taking advantage of mid control. This time, NRG have KJ utility again into mid doors, and more members hovering mid, while FNS drops Viper ult in A main. Loud decides to exploit the arc control they get, but this time instead of pushing to A site, they fight into connector for the first time ever and catch Song. Then they use control of connector to group up and crunch FNS on A site, winning the round. Loud exploited a previous hole that they found in Art, but in a different way. Now within 2 rounds, Saadhak tries a full B take again against NRG's save. After seeing no presence in A main, NRG make a great call to stack and fight B. They have never seen Loud late lurk A main when there's presence B long. Loud should have played the round a little bit slower to try and work the map a bit more and gather information. Another mistake was Loud dropping Viper ult against an eco buy. They definitely did it because they were panicked as the bomb dropped and they were down 3v5. Now the angles are all very short, which is good for NRG to take advantage of with their eco weapons. A lot more holes open up for NRG to make plays like Som does here, and they can spray into the smoke or fight short angles without having to deal with the gun disadvantage.
Tap on the spike and spam comes out. It's Crashies finding Saadhak. This could be 12. Less is gone in.
Loud go back to their default strategy next round to take mid control. This time, they punish a new hole in NRG's setup with a B long lurk, which has never been used before. NRG aren't able to 3v4 retake, and Loud gets another round.
The time started. Perfection, the timing. Yes, Saadhak tries to make something of it. A little bit of a punish on the way up.
Finally, FNS has had enough, and he knows the whole half had transpired from Loud's uncontested mid control. They decide to fight mid with all 5 members, but although the call was good, Loud used no utility and somehow get 4 kills in a 3v5.
He's absolutely read it, but he's just being melted. Oh my god, what an attempt! There's 3 players picked up 4. There's a bomb flash on the swing and Loud! Send them packing!
Now Loud are within 1 round to tie the game and bring it to overtime. NRG try to muster up a buy, but Loud finally go A main, which is their first full A main push since pistol round. And this mix-up works perfectly, as it's one of the first rounds NRG stops fighting for A main.
So actually, Saadhak going to get the lockdown off this, and they've got a lot of it.
A crazy post-plant fight gives Loud the edge when Som is less than a second away from winning the game.
And he's still doing what he can.
And Loud have successfully clawed back into overtime. In overtime, NRG make a contact play up B long after clearing the first angle. This time, Loud are set up for A main and stack heavy towards sites rather than mid. They remember that NRG had only really won one round through mid. Loud's B players decide to play retake after they see a lot of utility used by NRG. They still have all their utility up when NRG used all of theirs to take site, and the retake works flawlessly.
Cowardsy and Saadhak, they're just heating up. He's pushing the wall. He's getting
Twoies is
so
sticking it.
close. And Twoies is not stopping. They gotta try and get past the wall. And it's gonna be Loud. Surely. Oh my god.
Loud are now on match point. Now on defense, FNS makes an amazing call to completely invert their setup. They now put 3 members fighting for B main control while FNS and Crashies anchor the weak side. The B players get a pick and the orb and arch slows down Loud's opposing art control. With time running low and NRG giving nothing to Loud, they are forced to just take a site, and they run into NRG's B setup where Artis was sitting behind Sign the whole round. NRG bring it back to go into double overtime. They play the first round on offense, attempting to pressure B, but send an A main lurk. Again, Loud are making the call that there isn't going to be any real usage of mid. Crashies gets killed quickly by Aspas' op, and NRG know they need to take B right now. Miraculously, some spamming through the walls and a crazy play from Artis turns a 5v4 into a 3v4. And NRG are on match point. On round 28, the whole game culminates on this crazy strat from FNS. First, Som and Victor use the exact same utility they did 3 rounds ago to push B main. The Harbor Wall and Skydog come up long. At the same time, Artis buys a naked op to peek mid doors. Let's remember that Loud have walk pushed mid at the beginning of rounds and used it to convert the majority of their rounds on offense. This is the exact scenario an op is extremely useful, and Artis gets the punish perfectly. Since Loud think NRG are pushing up B main, Saadhak thinks this may be the round to lurk up A, but to his surprise, NRG were actually pushed up A main and not B. They get the kill on Saadhak lurking, and despite miracle rounds all game, Loud weren't able to convert a 3v5 with no map control. NRG win the game off this amazing round, and it was a perfect culmination of all the mind games and strategies these two legendary IGLs threw at each other the whole game. This entire map was a constant back and forth between strategic masterminds. NRG and FNS got the last laugh in this game, but we obviously know Loud went on to win the series. Let's just hope we see many more matchups between these powerhouse teams in the future. This is certainly my pick for the best series of the tournament. Thanks for watching, and make sure to leave a comment telling me what your favorite series of the tournament was.